covered in today's China Truths.
China's weapons look powerful until the shooting starts. For years, Beijing has flooded the world with images of cutting-edge weapons, stealth fighters gliding off aircraft carriers, hypersonic missiles streaking across the sky, and futuristic concepts promising to leapfrog Western militaries overnight. On paper, China appears unstoppable. In propaganda videos, every system looks flawless. But real warfare does not happen on paper, and it does not care about headlines. When you peel back the visuals and examine China's actual combat capability, a far less impressive reality emerges. One defined by weak industrial foundations, unreliable engines, fragile logistics, and an army that has never truly been tested by modern war. At the center of this illusion sits China's newest stealth fighter, the J-35. It is promoted as a carrier-based rival to the American F-35, supposedly capable of matching or even surpassing it. Chinese state media boasts about palm-sized radar signatures and next-generation dominance. But military power is not measured by claims. It is measured by reliability under pressure. And this is where China's combat readiness begins to unravel. The first and most critical weakness is the engine. In modern air combat, engines are everything. They determine speed, range, payload, endurance, survivability, and mission success. Yet China's aerospace industry still cannot produce a single jet engine that matches Western standards for power, reliability, and lifespan. The J-35's naval variant, designed to operate from the carrier Fujian, relies on engines derived from older designs rooted in Cold War technology. These engines struggle with overheating, inconsistent thrust, and high failure rates. Without a mature next-generation engine, the J-35 cannot supercruise, cannot sustain high-intensity operations, and cannot survive prolonged combat scenarios. To compensate for weak engines, Chinese designers rely on twin-engine layouts. Propaganda frames this as safer, especially for maritime operations. In reality, it is a forced compromise. Two weaker engines replace one powerful one, doubling maintenance requirements, doubling failure points, and increasing logistical strain. On a crowded carrier deck, this is a nightmare. Every additional hour of maintenance reduces sortie rates. Every additional failure reduces combat availability. In war, the side that flies more missions wins, not the side with better brochures. But engines are only the beginning. A fighter jet is not just metal and fuel, it is a system embedded in a larger combat network. Here, China's weakness becomes even more severe. Western aircraft like the F-35 operate inside a fully integrated battle space. Satellites, early warning aircraft, naval radars, drones, and shared data links create a real-time combat picture. Pilots do not fight alone. They fight as nodes in a living network. China simply does not have this system at scale. Its sensor fusion remains incomplete, its data library shallow, and its battlefield networking fragile. Without decades of accumulated combat data, China's stealth fighters are effectively blind. Radar signatures, electronic warfare profiles, missile behavior, these are learned through war and long-term testing, not simulation. The United States and its allies have refined these systems through Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, and countless joint exercises. China has no equivalent experience. Its aircraft may look stealthy, but stealth without information is useless. A fighter that cannot see the battlefield will die quickly, no matter how advanced it appears. Then there is the human factor, perhaps China's greatest vulnerability. Modern air combat is brutally unforgiving. Pilots must make split-second decisions under chaos, adapt instantly when plans collapse, and operate independently when communications fail. Western pilots are trained precisely for this environment. They are encouraged to improvise, challenge assumptions, and take initiative. China's military culture is the opposite. It is rigid, centralized, and hierarchical. Deviating from orders is punished, not rewarded. In a real dogfight, hesitation kills. The numbers alone tell a damning story. The United States produces more than 3 times as many combat-ready pilots each year as China. Worse still, China is producing airframes faster than it can train competent pilots to fly them. This creates a hollow force. impressive hardware sitting idle on runways flown by underprepared crews. A stealth fighter without an elite pilot is not a weapon. It is a liability. China's problems extend far beyond aviation. The same weaknesses plague its entire military-industrial system. Shipyards rush warships into service before systems are fully tested. Missile forces emphasize quantity over reliability. Ground equipment looks modern, but lacks durability under sustained operations. Everything is optimized for display, not endurance. In real war, equipment breaks, supply lines are attacked, and factories must replace losses quickly. China's industrial base struggles with consistency, quality control, and long-term sustainment. These flaws cannot be fixed once fighting begins. Export failures reveal the truth. Beijing tries to hide. If China's weapons were truly world-class, buyers would line up. Instead, potential customers walk away. Allies quietly choose Western systems despite higher costs and political strings. They understand a simple reality. Weapons must work when lives are on the line. Chinese arms come with uncertain reliability, weak after-sales support, and engines that may fail when replacement parts are needed most. No serious military wants to gamble national survival on unproven technology. Even China's grand deception campaigns expose insecurity. Flashy concepts like space fighters and futuristic superweapons are not signs of confidence. They are distractions. They are meant to overwhelm perception, not win wars. While the world debates imaginary capabilities, China struggles to solve basic engineering problems that the West mastered decades ago. Real power does not need theater. The most dangerous illusion is believing that rapid production equals combat strength. China can build ships, jets, and missiles quickly, but war is not won by factories alone. It is won by systems that function under stress, by crews that endure exhaustion, and by logistics that survive attack. China has never fought a modern, high-intensity war. Its last major conflict predates the digital age. Everything since then has been rehearsal without consequence. This does not mean China is weak or harmless. It means its military power is brittle. In a short, symbolic confrontation, it may look formidable. In a prolonged, high-intensity conflict, its weaknesses would surface brutally fast. Engines would fail, networks would fracture, pilots would hesitate, logistics would collapse, and propaganda would not save them. In the end, the question is not whether China can build weapons. It clearly can. The real question is whether those weapons can survive reality. Right now, the answer is deeply uncertain. Beneath the polished videos and nationalist slogans lies a military struggling with quality, experience, and trust. When war stops being a performance and becomes a test, China's combat readiness may prove far weaker than the world has been led to believe. China's so-called tofu weapons problem is not limited to one branch of the military. It runs through the entire arsenal. Missiles that look intimidating in parades often suffer from guidance instability, unreliable fuel, and poor quality control. Reports of failed tests, inaccurate strikes, and aborted launches surface quietly, then disappear from public discussion. A missile that cannot reliably ignite, steer, or detonate is not a strategic deterrent. It is an expensive firework. Quantity cannot compensate for weapons that fail at the moment of truth. In aviation, the tofu problem is even more visible. Chinese military aircraft may look modern on the outside, but inside they are plagued by engine failures, short service lives, and inconsistent manufacturing standards. Fighter jets are grounded due to maintenance issues, spare parts shortages, and unresolved design flaws. Pilots train cautiously, knowing that mechanical failure is a constant risk. An air force that fears its own equipment cannot sustain high-intensity combat, no matter how many aircraft appear on paper. Naval weapons suffer from the same disease. Warships are launched at record speed, but key systems, from radar to propulsion, often underperform or break down early. Some vessels require major repairs shortly after commissioning, revealing rushed construction and weak testing. Missiles and launch systems on these ships are impressive during drills, yet their reliability under electronic warfare or sustained combat remains unproven. A navy built fast but fragile becomes a liability once real combat stress begins. From rockets to jets to warships, China's military hardware reflects a deeper structural issue. Speed and propaganda are prioritized over durability and trust. Weapons are designed to look powerful, not to endure chaos, heat, pressure, and repeated use. In real war, equipment must survive mistakes, damage, and exhaustion. Tofu weapons collapse not because the enemy is strong, but because the foundation is weak. And when the foundation fails, no amount of slogans or secrecy can prevent defeat. The real battlefield test of Chinese-made weapons along the Thailand-Cambodia front was a sobering wake-up call. Several Chinese-supplied systems reportedly underperformed, from surveillance drones that lost signal or crashed to rocket artillery with poor accuracy and reliability. Armored vehicles experienced mechanical issues in hot, humid conditions, limiting mobility and operational tempo. Communications equipment proved vulnerable to interference, disrupting coordination at critical moments. Maintenance demands rose quickly, while spare parts were slow to arrive. What looked capable in brochures failed to deliver under real combat stress. The outcome left operators disappointed and reinforced doubts about the true combat readiness of China's so-called advanced weapons.
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.